Welcome, class of 2029 parents, to our ninth grade parent night. Thank you for joining us, kind of. Sorry for the tech challenges. Hopefully, this recording will answer all your questions or concerns and provide you with the useful information you need to help guide your student this academic year. All right, so we're going to go ahead and get started. Tonight's goals are to reacquaint ourselves with the Foothill counseling team, and then also gain an understanding of graduation requirements and how they differ from college entrance requirements. And then also discuss ways that families can be engaged with their students' learning. All right, so this is our school counseling team. So we have Mr. Boyd. He serves students with the last names A through HA. I'm Miss Napora, and I serve students HE through RA. Miss Vega serves students RE through Z and our English language learners. And then we have Miss Wolf, and she is our Wellness Center counselor. All right, so this summarizes the role of a school counselor. What do we do? Well, we, just like teachers, we have our own curriculum that helps guide us in our practices. So we go out to the classroom, we meet with students one-on-one, and then we provide students with all of their needs regarding academic success, social emotional support, and college and career guidance. Working with students one-on-one is a part of our job, but then we also work with parents, teachers, and then we also provide support through the community when needed to help ensure that our students are successful on our campus. So this is the freshman timeline. Quarter 1 has just ended. We did some presentations with our administration team. That was called Podsentations, where we brought everybody in through their fire classrooms into a presentation hall where students gained some understanding of the Foothill culture, as well as how to get involved on campus, who to go to for help. It had a lot of information for new students to Foothill. We also had Club Brush, where students can sign up for different clubs on campus, and we have fire activities ongoing throughout the year as our fire mentors, older students, 10th, 11th, and 12th graders, provide different activities during fire for our ninth grade students. Second quarter, that's going on right now. We did this week, we went into all English classrooms and we provided them with a counseling lesson. There is a link in this presentation that that you can click on to look at that lesson if you'd like. But some of the information that we covered in the classroom will be shared again tonight with you. But we provided students with information on why it's important to do well in school, how to reach out for help, why do grades matter. We also talked about some other resources like our college and career, or California Colleges resource, and provided students with the opportunity to set goals for Q2 and beyond. If your student is a winter athlete, there will be a meeting on November 12th at 6:30 in Spirito Hall on our campus. So we look forward to seeing you then. And then first semester finals are December 16th through the 19th. And then we start our new semester January 6th, and that is a Tuesday. Q3 is just around the corner. During Q3, your student will find out more information about the different programs we have on campus for their 10th grade year. They will participate in an elective fair where they can learn about journalism, our graphics program, bioscience, yearbook, the different elective offerings that we will have available to them if to apply. And then their class teachers will help guide them through the application should they want to apply to one of those different programs. We will have registration for the 26-27 school year. It will happen in quarter 3. And then we will have some summer school enrollment for students that may have struggled in a class that need to repeat a class for to gain some credit. Quarter 4 is March through June. We will have finals June 1st through the 4th. We will have more summer school enrollment for those students that need it. And then in April and May, if a student does choose to sign up for a VC class, VC registration happens during that time. All right, Ms. Vega is going to discuss grades and graduation requirements.
Thank you. I'm going to go ahead and go to the next slide. Thanks. Okay, graduation requirements. So again, like Ms. Nampora mentioned, this is something that we did go over with your student and English classes this earlier in the week. So they are all aware of our grad requirements. A total of 230 credits are required for graduation. They're going to be taking 4 years of English, so which equals the 40 credits. 30 credits of math, 3 years of math. We're going to recommend, of course, that 4th year, but they are required for VUSD graduation to have those 30 credits, 3 years. Science, they do a year of life, which is their biology. Most of our students are in biology as freshmen. And then next year as sophomores, they will be fulfilling their physical science requirement, which is chemistry, for a total of 20 credits. World history, again, as 10th graders, they will be taking that. That'll give them the 10 credits required, needed that are required. And then U.S. history, junior year, those are an additional 10 credits of history. Arts, a total of 20. College and career seminar counts as 5 of the 20. Most of our students will earn those art credits, of course, throughout the remainder of 3 years with an art class, a photo class. But yeah, we'll make sure that they have their 20 credits. 20 credits of PE, that's 2 years of physical ed. And of course, if they're in a sport, that also will cover their PE credits. A semester of health, majority of our students are either in health this semester or did it over the summer. So they've already fulfilled their requirement or will be by the end of this semester. And then senior year, they will be doing a semester of American democracy and a semester of econ, plus the additional 65 electives. So everything above and beyond of the requirements will be going towards those elective credits. Each semester, the course passed, they're going to earn 5 credits, minimum of 60 credits, 30 per semester should be earned per year to remain on track for graduation. And June 2029, I believe. Yes. Okay, next slide. Okay, the University of California requirements, most if not all of our classes are what we call A through G. Pretty much we're setting up students, if their goal is to go to a 4-year after high school, we are setting them up to meet all those requirements by already taking the courses required by VUSD, but some of those, if not majority of them, fall into these A through G requirements. And that's, again, prepping them for the CSU system, the UC system, private school, out-of-state school. Most of them will accept the A through G. Later in other years, we are going to talk about other options, of course, if they're not, if students are not gearing towards going to a 4-year right after high school, but we will talk about that later on with students as well. But the history, social sciences, you can see here that the UC CSU system requires 2 years. And again, the students will be taking that during their sophomore and junior year. English, the 4 years, we need them for high school requirement, of course, and then also for A through G. 3 years of math, again, we're going to recommend they go that 4th year as well. And then lab science, they're going to do 2 years, which is life, 1 year of life, 1 year physical. We are going to recommend that 3rd year. And for A through G, it'll definitely count towards that lab science, but for high school, it does give them elective credit as well. And then language other than English, that is an A through G requirement. We do not require language to graduate high school, but again, we're preparing students so that they have a choice and some options by the time their senior year comes around, and they may change their mind and consider applying. So we always recommend that they do a language. And if they don't want to do Spanish at Foothill, then we of course have those conversations of possibly looking at the community college to see what language it is that they're interested in, and we can help them register for that. The F requirement is 1 year of visual performing arts. And again, students will fulfill that requirement by taking one of our art courses, photo, drama, any of those can fulfill that requirement. And then G, there's a college prep elective. And again, our students are well prepared to fulfill all the requirements for the CSU and UC system. So just a recap, grad requirements versus University of California requirements. You can see in the middle there, we have both the 4 years of, English, math, science, social science, art, college prep elective. For Foothill, for graduation, they're going to need a semester of health. We require PE, and then 2 years of art to fulfill the requirement. For the UC, the difference is, if you see it on there, it's 2 years of world language. Again, we don't need that for high school graduation, but we recommend it so they can be prepared, and complete Math 3 minimum with a C or better. That is the goal. In order for students to be A through G, all the courses in that A through G realm have to have a C or better. Otherwise, if they do earn a D, they will have to attend summer school or find another way to make up that course. They will not be A through G if they do earn a D on their transcript. Okay. Typical 10th grade schedule. We are gearing up to get them registered in a month or so. And so we had this conversations with your student this past week as well, as far as kind of what to expect. But there you will have 2 options for English 10, English 10 college prep or honors. For world history, the same. They will have 2 options there. You can either go college prep or honors. Math 2 is usually your 10th grade class. However, it all depends where they started off in freshman year. So the students that are maybe in our foundations class, they may be going to Math 1 or Math 2, depending, but they will work with their counselor on that. And then the same thing, they will have 2 choices. They can either go college prep or honors level. Chemistry, college prep or honors. And then most of our students, if they've done are taking Spanish 1 this year, they're going to go into that Spanish 2 or next level. We do have some students that are in Spanish 4 as freshmen because they're native speakers. So then their next choice will be AP Spanish for them. They are going to take an elective. They get to choose another elective. And then either PE or athletics to fulfill that 2nd year of PE credit required for graduation. So some potential elective options for sophomores. We're looking at our Makerspace, Applied Algorithms class, art. If they haven't taken the Intro to Art class, they can go either Intro to Art or Art 2 if they're in Art 1. Digital photo is a popular one as well. Drama 1 or 2. If your student is taking Drama 1, then most likely they're going to jump into Drama 2 if they choose to do that next year as well. We offer an Exploring Computer Science, Web Design, film class. A Film 1 class as well. Spanish, either 1 through 4 or AP, depending what level they're in now. They can also, as sophomores, take an ethnic social justice course. That's also a potential elective. But when we go in to register the students for next year, they will be able to see all of this on their in their ARIES, and they'll be able to select what they're interested in during that time. But these are just some possibilities. Now, we do have some electives that are going to require approval, and that's part of the application and the elective fair that Ms. Napora touched on. We are going to have an elective fair January 9th, and this is really an opportunity for students to go in, listen into what the programs are all about, and to decide whether they want to apply, because some of them will require the initial application, and then we'll need an additional, there's an additional part to that application. So we want to make sure that if they're really interested in applying, that they follow through what the requirements are, only because, again, it is pretty competitive. So we want to make sure that they just have it all done prior to that, to the due date, which is going to be January 17th. So elective options that are going to require approval, you're looking at your AVID 10. And that's pretty much if your student is not an AVID as a 9th grader, but they want to go in as a 10th grader, they can apply as a 10th grader, but they will have to fill out that application. Journalism requires an application. Leadership, slash ASB, they will require an application. Bioscience, yearbook, and digital media arts, the graphics program, all of these courses or programs, they do require the application. So again, just very important for your student to attend that elective fair on January 9th, go in, pop into the different programs, listen in, and then determine what it is that they really want to apply for. We've also attached a link here for the VSU course directory to kind of gives you an explanation of what the courses are going to entail. So more than welcome to check that out. Thank you. And Mr. Boyd is up with the Ventura College information.
Thank you very much. So many of our students now also take class at Ventura College. This is directly from the Ventura College website. We have workshops on how to do this. They need some extra support, but they simply apply to the portal course recommendation form that counselor and parent signs off on and then registers the class. Also on the Ventura College website, they have a YouTube video on how to do this. But please remember, there's a link here about the pros and cons of taking class at Ventura College. I had some students that very unfortunately have failed the college class or gotten a D, so that's not good. So if you do want to take college classes, please be mindful of that. I know my son, when he was at Foothill many, many years ago, took American Sign Language at Ventura College for his foreign language and really, really did enjoy that. So that is a great potential for many, many of our students. Also, if you're looking for something to do over summer, that would give them something to do. Now, next, we're going to talk about how to support your student and monitor their progress and some strategies to be successful. Now, teachers use different tools in the classroom. Hopefully, you were able to come to our back to school night and learn what each teacher does in the classroom. Many teachers use Canvas or perhaps Google Classroom or something else. So if you use Canvas, you can use get a pairing code from your student and actually observe how they're doing their class or the coursework. The district requires all the grades be done in Aries, so you can look at your Aries parent account. If you don't have any access, please contact the Foothill office for access to that. But again, that is the official gradebook in Aries. Next slide, please. Thank you, Jane. Aries looks something like this. Once you're logged into the Aries, select grades. The options will come up and you can see you've quite a few options there: active gradebook, graduation status, that kind of thing. For questions about a particular teacher's grading system or grade, please contact the teacher directly. They are the ones who control their gradebook. Next slide, please. So grades and transcripts. In December, your students will end semester 1 and they will start their high school transcript, which is also referred to as permanent record. This is what it looks like for a senior, Jenny Dragon, which she's about to finish high school. So again, all the grades, everything like that is part of permanent record. Quarter grades are for Renaissance, our honors program, and for sports eligibility, whereas semester grades are permanent record on the transcripts. And that's how you keep track of graduation, that kind of stuff. So hopefully that makes sense. Please email us if you have any questions about this at all. So tips for success. Just establishing a daily routine of when they're into their homework, and most students do have homework every single day. In freshman year, it's not a whole lot, but their 11th grade year, they could have, quite a couple hours of daily homework. So we want to be able to provide that regular routine to get the homework done. Electronics are a distraction. We all know that. So just provide a quiet space. If your student is not planning homework or something like that, I always have my kids just do the homework at the kitchen table or keep an eye on them, whatever works for you. But it does take some parent support to get that done. And then monitor the progress weekly in areas to make sure they're turning things in and you see those grades and hopefully they're successful. Next slide, please. So Mr. Porter is going to talk about California colleges and that
Yep.
tool that students have that's quite useful. Go ahead, Mr. Porter.
Thank you. So when we were out in the classroom on Monday, we introduced this platform to our students. Some students already had an account because they utilized it during summer when they took college and career seminar. But this is a tool that they're going to use throughout their next 4 years that really helps them learn more about post-high school planning. So we would encourage parents to create their account so they can see what their student is doing in the account. And we helped them set goals when we were in the classroom the other day. Some of us did like little college searches or career searches. And then some of us started to build like a 4-year plan. All of that, all of those options are in californiacolleges.edu. So when you go to that website, if you select register your account, you'll be prompted to enter our district, our school name, and then it will ask for your student's ID number. And so you'll just need to either look that up in Aries or call your student over and have them enter their student ID number when you're registering your account. You can always reach out to us too. We can give you their ID number if you need it. But that's
Jane, we just lost your audio.
sorry about that.
There you go.
Thank you. Under California colleges, once you get in, then you just have to click on My Students. So you might have several students, right? And then through that, you can learn about different college admissions requirements under the college tab. You can look at the different like personality tests and research they've done for their career research. And then you can also start exploring some financial aid, how to apply for financial aid, and just like the basics. What is the difference between like a grant, work study program, those types of things. So there's a lot of information in here for parents to review once they get into their account. This is what it looks like from a student's perspective. We provided them with a lesson for ninth graders, which was like overcoming obstacles and how to push through when things get difficult. Some students did like an academic planner, although I have to admit it's not perfect yet. When we switched over to from Q to Aries, it kind of messed up some of our courses in there. So it's not perfect, but a student can start building their 9th, 10th, 11th grade and 12th grade 4-year plans. So I know a lot of students are anxious to do that. So you can give that a shot if you'd like. In that academic planner, you can see if a student is CSU and UC eligible. It will help outline if there are some gaps in any of that as well. But keep in mind that your student school counselor is also looking at that information on their transcript, and reminding students yearly about like, hey, you haven't done your art yet, or did you want to do a foreign language to help prepare you for college, or you need to repeat this first semester of English. So we're having those conversations as well. In the classroom, we also looked at my goals, and helped students set up SMART goals for either the quarter or next semester. So those goals, some of them were academic, some of them were personal or social, like getting involved in a club, or I'm going to go to a club meeting in, you know, this week, or, so we encourage them to be very specific in developing their SMART goals. All right, so play with that tool. We would encourage you to do get onto California Colleges, and then from there, you can always encourage your student to work with that website a little bit more on their own, since they have access to it all the time. Next, I want to get into community service. So just as a reminder, we no longer require community service, but we do encourage it. As you know, it's very helpful. It helps build valuable life skills. It can provide students with developing positive self-esteem by giving back to their community and doing like a selfless act. And then it also helps provide students to develop like their resume and getting some work experience. So for our students that do volunteer but haven't had a job and are putting together a resume, they have all that experience that they can list in their volunteer opportunity as their experience. So it's really helpful for students to participate in community service. We could probably list a dozen more benefits, but those are probably the first three that came to mind. Students are recognized at the end of their senior year for their long-term commitments. So if you go to the website, there's a link here for the our website for community service. So if you wanted to look to see how many hours a student has to participate to be recognized at the end of their senior year, we have different levels of recognition depending on their hour commitments. The Foothill website for community service does have a list of pre-approved opportunities of what is community service, and then how to, if they have an opportunity that's not on that list, and they'd like to get it approved, they can fill out that information. And then there's also a form to document their hours and get their supervisor's signatures verifying their hours. If your student is unsure about how to start finding opportunities, we've listed a few things. So they can go into the city of Ventura has specifically a volunteer site. We have the Ventura County, sponsored by the United Way. They have a lot of different opportunities listed. Another great website is Idealist, and a student can go in there and just search opportunities for teenagers in a specific zip code, and that are interested in, different types of opportunities. So if they want to work with people or animals, or if they have different skill sets, then they can just specify that and filter their searches that way. And then I also listed FoodShare just because they are always looking for volunteers, and definitely right now FoodShare is very busy, and they can definitely utilize any help that can be provided through our community. All right, so in conclusion for our presentation, we just wanted to make sure that y'all are staying informed. So if you're not already connected with Parent Square, that is a great opportunity to get our text messages about everything going on campus. And then also we would encourage you to explore the Foothill website for some, different information relating to athletics, classes, different things happening on our campus. The counselors have a website as well where we post different presentations. So we would encourage you to look at that website too. And then on every Friday, our principal's newsletter has all the happenings on campus. including different links, and can be very helpful in staying in touch with what's going on and how to get involved with your students' high school experience. All right, so that wraps it up for today's presentation. So thank you for listening and being a part of it. And if you need any assistance, our emails are listed. So please feel free to reach out to a school counselor. You can also reach out to the Wellness Center as well. That's Miss Wolf. And we'd be happy to provide you with answers to your questions or any help that can make your students' high school experience more enjoyable. All right. Thank you so much. And this concludes our presentation.
Thank you, everyone.